Okay, I'm going to do a little intro, introduction to Coco. Now, Coco's a 58-year-old woman, and she does stories. She lives in Victorson County, Texas, and she lives in a place called Summertime, Texas, within the county. Victorson County in Texas, and she lives in Summertime, Texas, within that county. Okay, that made sense, I think. But she writes for, she does more like she does videos on their Victorson County's social media platform they have just for themselves, just for the county. They're kind of isolated from other places, and the whole county is kind of isolated. And they have their own, social media platform. People prefer it. They don't really care for anything outside. And, they do videos. They do content. The radio station does contests. People's videos. They sell things. They make their own things. And within the county, people prefer to buy locally grown, made, whatever. They like to buy it from people within the county. And she, well, like I said, Coco, she does stories. She tells stories for, the social media platform, which is called Virtual County. And she basically does little stories. They're for adults. And, she lets everybody know they're for adults from the start. And nothing really bad, but, as far as, well, it's for adults. Let me stop there. I have not had my caffeine. Oh my goodness. Anyway, my morning caffeine. Anyway, they're kind of like podcasts in a way, but not live streamed videos. They're podcasts. She records them, and then she uploads them to Virtual County. And she's, not very consistent with it, but she still does them. And these are stories, and she has a lot of characters in her stories. And so it takes a while. But anyway, they're not like the stories. She's not like the story is a story yet. Okay, a series. Because she, has, different things to do on them. Different people. Boy, I'm serious. Oh my goodness. I have not had my caffeine. But anyway, one thing I wanted to point out here, the one main thing, is that she's a rather quirky person. Okay, some see her as quirky person. She was thought of this since she was a child, that she had her own ways of doing things, that others might not do. But to her, she was very well organized. It might not look like it. Her dad told her that when she was young, that he would say to clean your room, but he knew that it was all organized anyway, even though it looked a mess. And it was. It was very true of her. It's always been true of her. So, Coco likes to write. She sort of, when young, she loved to write letters and receive letters. And this was back before, emails and stuff, the internet. And the thing was, she just liked to write and tell the stories of what's happening, true stories, fictional stories. Some of it based on real life and, things like that. And as she got older, and the county had this, their own social media platform, she decided this is what she wanted to do, is to write stories. And with the quirky part of it is that the way she does her videos, anywhere she is at whatever moment or wherever she feels like would be best for her to be to make the videos, that's where she would do it. And she hardly ever was on camera. She did not feel any need to be on camera because the story was what mattered. Okay? And like I said, she didn't care for, she didn't have that need, to show her face all the time. People had seen what she looked like, but, video here and there just, so they'll know that she's a real person. But she did her videos in very odd places. Okay, some of her videos was sitting out in front of her house with her in her SUV, kind of like this, And some of them she did on PowerPoint slides. Some of them she wrote out. Some of them she just put PowerPoint slides and spoke, over just the PowerPoint slides. And sometimes it was she'd do them in her backyard on her patio. She would do them in other rooms of the house, like in the dark. And she would do them while driving, at a park, at a nature preserve, wherever she was. If it felt like doing it that day, those days, that's what she would do. And she would say the things, can I relate to this? It's too noisy inside of her house, and the lighting is bad. They have solar screens, the lighting's bad. But plus, the camera she used, she wasn't going to go out and buy a bunch of, things, products for it. She just used her cell phone. And she would say that she has a funhouse mirror look on her cell phone, so she doesn't use her cell phone, to put her cell phone camera. She never looks the same. She never sounds the same. And people have made comments that her voice tends to change sometimes. And sometimes it is, she has allergies, this kind of thing. But sometimes it's just is what it is. Put it that way. But anyway, okay, so she has quirky behaviors. Some see, some who are watching it, well, that's weird. One day she's doing this, one day she's doing that. Why can't she just do it in one place? And she tells them, but, people just say it's still quirky. And a lot of other people, when they do their videos, they have just sit in one place, do them like that, and that's it. But she does not feel like the need to do it like that. And I should mention here that she is an independent. And she's independent all around. She doesn't follow a herd. She doesn't follow a party, an ideology. She thinks for herself. Boy, doesn't this sound familiar? She's a character. Anyway, now the reason I'm mentioning this as far as her sitting out, that some people think she's quirky, her neighbors also think she's quirky. Because they see her, sitting out in her car, and they don't know what she's doing, but she's just sitting in her SUV. It's an SUV, and they just wonder, why is she doing that? Why would she be doing that? Does it make sense to them? Well, it's really, truly none of their business. Seriously, unless some kind of crime scene is happening, or the person passed out, some medical situation is happening, it's really nobody's business. If it's not harming them, not harming anybody, it's nobody's business. But, her neighbors, they're not ones to think. Okay. Now, I wanted just to get this part out. This is more of an introduction. I did one about her childhood, but this is more of an introduction. And to basically, some of it will be, the stories that she, about the stories that she writes for and does videos for on Virtual County, but some will be about her situations with her neighbors. Okay? Yeah. What a character. Anyway, I'll go ahead and wrap this up. Talk to you on another video. Bye.